Hey there, boys and girls. Today we're going to be working with multiplying by groups of 8. And what you can do at home, if you have these materials, is make some little spiders. I made these spiders out of Play-Doh and then 4 toothpicks stuck all the way through. Gives me 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legs. So that's one group of 8. Well, what you want to do is make more, right? So this would be 2 times 8. 1 times 8 is 8. 2 times 8 would be 8 and another 8, which is 16, right? So go ahead and make yourself some spiders or draw pictures of spiders until you get up to 12 groups of 8 and count up all the legs and see how much you get. It's going to get really big because we're adding 8 each time, so the mountain is going to get really, really big. So make some spiders, draw some spiders, whichever you'd like to do, maybe a combo of both, a little bit of each. Now let's look at the 8s on our multiplication table, because this table is where we see lots and lots of interesting and helpful patterns. So I'm going to go ahead and color in the 8s, and I'll color in the 8s going horizontally. I also have 8s coming down this way. So I'm just going to color in my 8s here, and I'm going to color them in yellow. When you do this, you're going to recognize some of the numbers that you counted up when you were counting your spider legs, right? I bet you remember counting up to 32. Maybe you started drawing once you got this big, because then you're up to 56. You should recognize 24. Let's see, 5 times 8 would be 40. 8 times 7 was 56. 8 times 10 was 80. 8 times 12 was 96. Did you get all the way up to there? So we can see our 8s going this way. Well, now let's take red and let's go ahead and color in our 4s, because we want to analyze the things that our 8s and 4s have in common. Do you see any patterns? Do you see any similarities? Do you see anything that repeats itself over and over again? That's a pattern, or we can also call it a rule if it repeats itself over and over and over. Let's look. 4 groups of 3 is 12. 4 groups of 6 is 24. 4 groups of 11 is 44. Now let's start looking at these in relationship to one another. 1 times 4 is 4. And then 1 times 8 is 8. Let's see. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 4 times 3 is 12. 8 times 3 is 24. 4 times 4 is 16. 8 times 4 is 32. 4 times 5 is 20. 8 times 5 is 40. So if I'm having trouble and I'm multiplying maybe 8 times 5 like this, I find myself needing to figure out 8 times 5, and if I do know my 4s, 4 times 5, 4 groups of 5 is 20. So 8 groups of 5, if my amount of groups doubles, my product will also double, or my answer. I have twice as many groups, so the answer or the product will be twice as big. Check that out as you go along. Let's go way back and also bring into this our 2s. So I'm going to get a pencil or a crepe colored pencil or a crayon, something where I can color lightly, because I don't want to cover up all these products or all these multiples. They have 2 different names. These are multiples of 2. They're also products. Okay, so let's look at our 2s, 4s, and 8s, because all of these, you're going to find out, are related and all are helpful for you as you're trying to multiply. Let's take this same problem, 8 groups of 5. As if you had 5 of those spiders with 8 legs on each one. And you didn't know what it was. We could go back and look, well, do I know what 4 times 5 is? And let's pretend you don't remember what 4 times 5 is. It's not memorized yet. It's not in your head yet. You can go back to 2 times 5. And sometimes I'll do this if I get stuck on an 8. I'll go 8 times 5. Well, I don't know 4 times 5, but 2 times 5 is 10. So 4 times 5 is 20. then 8 times 5 is 40. So sometimes I'll go all the way back and I'll double and double again. And my product will double and double again. I can use double, double to get my answer for my 8s. Think about your 2s, think about your 4s. And each time you do that, you're going to be getting stronger and stronger with your 8s and your 2s and your 4s. Practice, practice. See you next time.